Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced rack, no duplicates, and quite bingo-y tiles, but I'm not seeing a 7. I suspect there will be bingos through some floaters, outgleam through an M. Not seeing anything else. No M. Detox takes ing at the end for future reference. But let me consider the floaters. This rack plus a D. No. E. No. T. No. O doesn't look useful. Nor does X. Wow, there could be one here. A 7 would definitely play. Is there really nothing? Just not seeing anything. So, no scoring tiles on my rack. Can I get value from the U? From the X, rather. So I could play OU for 13. Rack leaves okay, but it's not brilliant. And the score, 13, is pretty poor. So can I get the X doubled? And get rid of the U. No, so I'm going to go back to OU for 13. And I draw a non-bingo-y tile in the J, but I got vowels to help get rid of it. I've got jet lag on my rack, which is going to trash the rack. But there's not that much worth preserving on it. OU does have some defensive value. The X can only be used for score with detoxing. And the double-double lane is reduced. Gosh, I wonder if I had a double-double last turn. It wouldn't have scored massively. So what am I going to do with my J? It doesn't go above E as a 2-letter play. 31 points for opponent. That's a good score. Nowhere for jet lag. Only an O goes in front of a K. E goes after ID. So I can play jet here. I could also play G, but I think jet is better. 30 points, pretty decent, not giving very much away. I am going with this. Now, this looks jolly close. Is there a 7 here? Don't think so. And no floaters on the board. Wow. I guess KIF takes an S, so column 10 available for bingos ending ST. I don't have an S. Could there be a 7? Well, even if there is, it probably wouldn't go, unless it hooks OU. But I don't think tailage is good. Tailgate is good through a T. And again, I'm back to no scoring tiles, and I trail by 30, so I'm not in good shape. I don't have an N for detoxing. Do I have anything through XU which gets doubled? Don't think so. And OO, not very good for double doubles, or even single doubles with this rack. I do have an A for going underneath the J. So I could play double A in that spot. Now, does D give me anything? Alliated is double L. No, not seeing anything, and that's the only floater provided. So A or E goes underneath I'd. So I could do this, gay for 22. Pretty ropey, but I'm not seeing anything better. I'm taking out the D as a floater. Not great since I trail. However, my rack is not really that close to a bingo, and if opponent bingoed, then I'd be in real trouble. But I am encouraging the growth of a ladder, which assists the person in front. However, I'm not seeing anything better, and there is still column 13 for hooks for OU, and I do have a T for that. Also, hood takes an S. Okay, I am going with this. Well, again, another very close rack to a bingo. I think matinal is good, but OUM isn't. I've played off the G, which I would have needed for detoxing, but I think that would have been a bad reason to retain it. Now, opponent changes. Only one tile. They're super close to a bingo. There's nowhere for matinal. So I've got the M for jam. Well, I definitely needs to go here. There's no alternative. Supposing I place an M here, I can't take this any further to the right. I've got aim for 25, which does take front hooks. However, it's also sorting out my duplicates. It's not providing any floaters. And aim is taking out row L, or disrupting row L for sticking an S on the end of hood. I don't think I can extend aim any further with this rack. Does an A have to go here? Well, if I make the play any longer, I'm providing floaters, and I know opponent's got 6 good tiles. I'm going with this. Another super close rack, which could benefit from floaters, notional through an N. Is opponent about to lay a bingo down? Surely they are. I trail by 1, but for how long? What other floaters would assist this rack? Optional through a P. And I think that has an anagram, possibly no palito. But a column 4 bingo is not going to provide much. So 69 for opponent, their play doesn't get doubled. So I don't think that's a terrible outcome. I do not have a bingo through the H, I don't think. No. So, how to sort this rack out? Bingo-y tiles, just no bingo. Is lewd good? I don't think so, but Lloyd and load both are. But that's not going to score very much. 15 points. What about Lou here for 16 points? Lou takes an A in front. I've got one. So this is keeping the board open. The floating L, row B with an A. There's also column 13. This row L with an S in a very precise position. I'm retaining IN for detoxing, still 2 Gs to come. I'm denying this spot to opponent. Yep, I'm going with this. Wow, what a pick, Q and W. Any Fs available for whack? No, only one on the board, that's not available. I do have an I, well I have Chi, Chin and Cat on my rack, all of which is good, and Chin plays in column 6 for a decent score, and I have Cade in row H, so this isn't bad at all. I think it was the Q with the W which looked particularly grim. I trail by 54. I think Chin better than Cade. Or is it 36? Well, opponent makes my decision for me. Chin and Cat both play in column 7. But I think Cade is going to be better. But look at this, 4 consonants. I could easily draw 2 or 3 consonants and score next to nothing next turn. But this is 42 points. I could play Chin here for 32, but surely the A isn't worth 10 points. Anywhere else for the Q? Let me just see what this scores. Cat 34 points. Interesting. Although Q takes an I, not many letters go after O by A, S and T. So column 8 not massively hot for opponent, only 34 points. I could play Cat in this spot, retaining IN for detoxing. "11 minutes on my clock." What a tricky situation to be in. 42 points for Cade. 8 more points. So what about doing Cat here? This is retaining the I for Chi. It's retaining IN for detoxing. It's retaining a vowel, which is good. I am minded to go with this. I only trailed by 70, so this is going to halve the deficit. I'm going with this. No G. I do have an S. And I didn't draw any vowels. Wow. And I think that means I can't use my I next to this Q. Ober only takes an S. I've got wind in row H, keeping 4 consonants. That's not great. Still 2 T's to come. OU takes S and T and other tiles. 24 for wind, that's not a big score. WI double N is good, but I'm not seeing anywhere for that. I could play winds, burning the S. 24 points. Still both blanks to come. That could be significant. Opponent may be reticent to play in row H because floaters will be provided. Now, I overlooked the Lou front hook with the A, but I don't think I had any AQ plays. I don't think I had Talak, which would have been immense. 14 minutes on opponent's clock, 10 on mine. Well, wind is looking the best, but LNRS, they're all bingo-y tiles. If I draw only vowels, I'm in great shape. Well, there are still quite a lot of vowels to come. Opponent takes out that spot. So how can I turn over a lot of tiles? Probably using the O, since I have so few vowels and there are no other floating vowels. Is in worn good? If there is, I think this is the play. And it is. Okay, great. And I'm rewarded with a blank. And with the blank as an E, I think I have Pelhams in column 13. So that's worked out really well. Opponent may be drawn to these triple word squares. But I do have Pelhams in column 13, I think. Still short on vowels. Great. Well, not so great with the score. But Pelhams remains available. I trail by 90. Pelhams for 84. And what a pick. I have Erotica. Does that play? It does, column 14, because Ooper is good. And I have Boracite in row A. This is immense. Absolutely fantastic. I've been on the back foot all game, and suddenly, although I still trail, I have the prospect of taking the lead. What about this S? Do I have a double-double through it? So I think Erotica's is good. I think it's Exotica, which doesn't take an S. But does Erotica's have an anagram? This rack plus an S. Just considering initial letters. Does Erotica's have an anagram? Surely opponent will play in row O. They do, and for only 11 points. This is fantastic. So I have Boracite for 89. And not a great rack, but I do now have a lead. And opponent's taken out row O. So the board not very bingo-y. There's row B. There's column 14. Only 15 tiles in the bag. Wow, how the game changes. Still a Z, a blank, and an S to come. And there's this whole bunch of non-bingo-y tiles, V, V, W, and Y. Well, opponent bingos to take the lead, but only by 10 points. 8 tiles to come, including both V's. Can they both be on opponent's rack? So what I can do here is FEU. 26 points, which is decent. A and R go in front of YU of the remaining tiles, and K counting the blank. No D's to come. No V's can play in row A. Is this the play? 26 points. What else can I do? Can I play off any more tiles? 8 minutes on my clock, which is loads. Let me count the remaining vowels. 7 out of 15. Vowels are good in the end game, but I don't want to be swamped with them. Opponent has got nothing to go above the I. No scoring tile can go above the I, so row A isn't dangerous. So playing in row C, I'm doing it for the points. Do I have anything in row A? I don't think so. I think the best I have is EAU. 16 points, that's 10 points less than FEU. and it's providing a scoring spot in row C. So I like FEU. I don't think the U is a useful tile. But it doesn't feel great. I'd quite like to turn over more tiles to get the blank, but it's not essential on a non-bingo-y board. The score's fine, 20-odd, 26 points is good with this rack. I think Jame is good, or is it just James? My F could go under GI. I'm not seeing anything better than FEU. But is there something better? My F can go next to the E. And my A can go in front of Alpa. I think I do play here. Opponent, well, could play something like Vive down through that I. I am going with Fear for 26. Wow, I draw the Z, I draw the blank. Is that going to be enough? I've dodged both V's and the W. Surely opponent is not bingoing with the remaining tiles. Surely. So, 29 for opponent. I trail by 12. The bag is empty. So, if I go out in 2, I get 2 scores plus count back. And opponent gets 1 score. 6 minutes on my clock. So, can I go out in 2? Do I have anything in column 1? This is worth looking at. A play beginning with a vowel, 6 letters long. 5 minutes on my clock. So, nothing so far. I think it's just getting to that 6th letter rather than 5, which is problematic here. I don't want to spend too long on this because it's not very likely. Oh, I was thinking epizoa, but the blank would need to be O and P. Hope I'm not missing something here, because if there is something here, I think it is the play. 4 minutes on my clock. Not seeing anything. So, is there anywhere for the Z that I'm missing? Anything ending ZU? No. I've not seen anything at all for the Z so far. And I need to turn over vowels. Wow, this is a lot harder than I was expecting. Just no Z spots at all. Maybe I can set one up, but I don't really have the time or skill for that. I've got says in column 9. 33 points. Leaving A, double E, I. I'm not going to go out in 1 with that. Opponent doesn't have anything to go above the U. I'm not seeing any front extensions for gulps. Ah, there's a right-hand side spot here. Again, I'm not... It's so annoying that I don't have a 6-letter play here. I could easily have one that I'm just not seeing. No, I keep seeing 5s like Azel. 3 minutes on my clock. Only H goes after C. What about anything through the L? Not seeing anything. Where can I play off vowels? Wow, this board is so dry. There's just nowhere for anything. I think I need to hold back the blank, hold back the Z, just play off 2 vowels somewhere for a lowly score. Not my intention at all. What does AE score up here? Okay, if I do this, this is 12 points. I do at least have an out. I have C's. But not very much, but I do have an out. 2 minutes on my clock. One minute on my clock. What if opponent blocks C's? I'm not seeing a 5. I don't have anything else top. I am going with this. We're dead level. I've got C's in column 15. Let me just look for other outs. Not seeing anything else so far. That's C's. Wow, 11 minutes on opponent's got W's. I've got W's as well. Nowhere for that. Wow, A may not have been the play. Maybe I could have played that somewhere else to set up a new C's spot. I've got Zig. So I may still be able to win this game even if I don't go out in 1. I've got Z's and ifs. 34 points. So was there anywhere last turn for A, E and I? What about a play with the N? 10 minutes on opponent's clock. What is opponent going to do? Now, what about this S in 10 down? Can't see anything with S in second place. Wow, what a close one. Look at this. We are dead level. 9 minutes on opponent's clock, 1 on mine. Actually, C's plays 1 square higher up, making Oopas and ERE and getting the Z doubled. But surely opponent's going to see that and block, or are they? I do have Z's and ifs. Then I'll have just the I, which I surely can play in 2 spots. G takes an A in front and a U. I don't have any outs using that. Oh, fantastic. 14 for opponent, and look at this. I have C's for 31. And the final score, 378 to opponent, 409 to me, a winning margin of 31 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, I was not expecting to win that game at all. Back-to-back bingos definitely helped, but it didn't feel in the bag. So it was opponent to go fast. They played Detox. Phew, no missed bingo, but Oxgate, I think, probably better than OU. It's 15 more points. Obviously, OU provides a lot less to opponents. However, 15 points is a lot, so I'm really not sure on that. Maybe Auto, G9. Yeah, maybe Auto would have been better, still burning the U, but getting 8 more points. Now, opponent's rack. They played Kif. They could have played Feek for 45. Jet for 30. That was my play. Opponent plays Hood. Oh, wow. Missed bingo. Gladiate. And that's going to be fairly high probability. Gosh. Gladiate for 60. Oh, well. What do? I play Gay for 22 in third spot down here. And although the rack leaves okay, it's only worth a few points. Certainly not 38. Opponent's rack, they change. Well, it says change one here, but I think it said change one earlier. So did they really throw back just the cue? Possibly. Now, my rack, no bingo available. And I play Aim. Interesting. I could have played Nim in the same spot. And although I'd be retaining double A, Nim doesn't take a front hook. So that may have scuppered opponent's bingo. Interesting. So L1, opponent has Herdens underneath Aim. And that would have played underneath Nim as well. And Herdens where they played it. Now, I'm feeling sorry for myself here. Trailing by 70. No bingo available. And I play Lou for 16. A5, Lotion available. While wrecking the rack, providing access to row A. So I like my play. Opponent plays Bots. I've drawn badly. But I can get rid of the Q for 30 or 40 points. And I still like this placement, retaining one vowel. Opponent with Nuges, nowhere for it, plays Nuge. My rack's pretty dreadful, and this is the play which turned things around. I saw that there were 2 blanks to come. I've got an S. In Worn was the only play I saw which turned over a lot of tiles and retained the S. So I like that. Opponent plays Braze, but look at this. I have drawn the blank. I do have Pelhams. And the only bingo. I didn't spend long looking for a better one, so delighted to have spotted that one. Gosh, opponent not far off a bingo, just short on vowels. Plays Gulps, could have played Glumps for 30. Wow, and look at this for a dream pickup. I have Boracite for 81, Erotica also playable in a couple of spots. So I take the lead, but opponent comes straight back with a bingo. And there's just 10 points between us. And we're into the pre-end game. 8 tiles in the bag. And I have 6 vowels. So I don't like the U, so I play FEU to get rid of it. And I like that. Look at these scores and these rack leaves. Out of the top 4 plays, I think Few is best. Now, opponent plays a Vicar. The bag is empty. I trail by 12. Wow, A12. Ziff playable, burning the blank, 50 points. But I'm not going out in one with this rack leave. I play A for 12, so do any of these provide... Well, I think maybe the thing to have done would have been to play C's straight off the bat for 31, retaining AE, which is definitely, I'm definitely going out with AE. Instead, I did it the hard way round, playing AE first, which wasn't blocking anything for opponent, I don't think. Yeah, so C's first would have been the play. Now, could opponent have won with dead level? Well, they play Reaver, but nothing more than 19 on offer. And finally, more than one out. There's C's, which I play, but there's also Ezine. J1. I just didn't see Ezine, but it was there. And this other C's is just one square lower down. And Ziff still available for 50, so I think the odds probably stacked in my favour at the end, but it doesn't feel like it in the heat of battle. So what a tremendous game. I was miles behind, and I felt I was either missing bingos or either missing them because I couldn't see where they played, or simply didn't have one but had a bingo-y looking rack. So sometimes games like that slip away from you. But it really turned round after In Warn. I drew well, I had Pelham's back-to-back bingo with Boracite, and then with the Z and the blank in the end game, was able to secure the win. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.